Hemoglobin in RBC is very important in exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body, and this helps in better perfusion of oxygen in most of the vital tissues. And the production of RBC is mainly controlled by a very important hormone which is called erythropoietin. So human erythropoietin is a 165 amino acid containing protein. It is a glycoprotein, and these 165 amino acids were also attached with 4 glycan chains. And this human erythropoietin is mainly primarily synthesized from peritubular cells of kidneys. So in this lecture, let us see about the basic pharmacology of erythropoietin and different formulations of erythropoietin used in the hospitals, and I'll tell you some basic important points which to be remembered for quick revision about erythropoietin. The first very important point about erythropoietin to understand to remember is the site of synthesis. Erythropoietin is primarily synthesized from the peritubular fibroblast cells of renal cortex, and other than renal tissue, erythropoietin is also synthesized from liver, especially in juvenile patients. Liver is the main organ which synthesizes erythropoietin, and sometimes erythropoietin is synthesized from bone marrow, and small part of erythropoietin is synthesized from lungs, and it is also synthesized from brain. So primarily the erythropoietin is synthesized from kidneys, but there are some amount of erythropoietin which is synthesized from the following tissues. But when a patient suffers from chronic kidney disease or any acute kidney disease or kidney failure cases, they will suffer from anemia, and they'll suffer from a reduced production of RBCs, because kidney is the main organ which produces erythropoietin. Let us see the mechanism of action of erythropoietin and different pharmacological actions exerted by erythropoietin in the body. So when we see the mechanism of action of erythropoietin, erythropoietin goes and binds on the erythropoietin receptor of different cell membranes, and by binding on the erythropoietin receptor, it activates JAK2 pathway, and by activating JAK2 pathway, it results in differentiation, survival, and proliferation of erythroid cells. So this is the very important mechanism of action of erythropoietin, and by this it helps in production of new RBCs in the body, and by that it reduces anemia, and by that it increases hemoglobin level as well as RBCs in the body. And if we see the pharmacological actions of erythropoietin on different tissues, when we see on the bone marrow, erythropoietin causes increased production of RBCs, and by that it increases hematocrit value as well as hemoglobin levels. And when we see the action of erythropoietin on blood vessels, it causes angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels, and it also increases the peripheral resistance, and by that hypertension is possible. Now let us see erythropoietin dose and indications. Erythropoietin is mainly used in patients who are suffering from chronic kidney disease and the patients who are undergoing dialysis, and sometimes erythropoietin is also used in patients who are severely suffering from anemia, and in post-surgical cases due to loss of blood. In severe bleeding cases, we sometimes indicate erythropoietin, and erythropoietin is also given in some people who are taking chemotherapy. So chemotherapy induced anemia is also possible, and there are some cases who are suffering from immunosuppression diseases like severe HIV, chronic tuberculosis. So in these patients also sometimes erythropoietin is given, and the common dose of erythropoietin is 25 to 100 units per kg, and usually in dialysis patients and who are suffering from CKD, twice to thrice daily can be taken. Erythropoietin is synthesized by rDNA technology, and if you see the formulations of erythropoietin, we have epidoin alpha beta, which is synthesized, which is obtained in 2000 units per ml. So injection bottles are available, and if you see the dose, actually the formulations are usually given in subcutaneous route or through IV route. If you see the adverse drug reactions of erythropoietin is usually it is a non-immunogenic, so there are no hypersensitive reactions possible when given in subcutaneous route or through IV route. But mainly erythropoietin, when given, it increases hematocrit value and it increases the peripheral resistance, and by that it causes hypertension. So hypertension is very important adverse drug reaction. Sometimes blood viscosity is increased due to increased hematocrit value, and patients will have hypertension as I was telling, and patient will have increased formation of clot synthesis may occur, and pulmonary embolism, thrombosis may be seen in some cases, and some patients will have seizure disorders, and flu-like symptoms are also some cases were reported. So there are other cardiovascular related disorders are also can be possible with increased intake of erythropoietin. So just remember, hypertension and pulmonary thromboembolism and patients with flu-like symptoms and seizures are very common adverse effects which can be possible with erythropoietin use. And if we see the formulations of erythropoietin is available in 2000 units per ml or 4000 units per ml as Hemax. Hemax is a brand, and Iprex, there is a very famous brand which has 2000 international units per ml, 4000 international units per ml, and there is a pre-filled injection which is available as 10,000 units that can be used sometimes. And one important point is erythropoietin is very expensive drug, and it is not usually given with all common people. Of erythropoietin is very important hormone which is very much required for synthesis of new RBCs and hemoglobin in the body, and usually erythropoietin is helpful in severe anemia cases and patients who are suffering from severe bleeding cases. Okay, and it is also very important in patients who are taking chemotherapy as well as in HIV cases. And there are some adverse effects which we should not forget about erythropoietin is it may have some cardiovascular risk like pulmonary embolism, it may cause thromboembolism, thrombosis, and in deep vein thrombosis we should strictly contraindicate erythropoietin, and sometimes it may also cause seizures, and flu-like symptoms are possible with erythropoietin. And erythropoietin also may cause pulmonary resistance, and hypertension is very important adverse drug event which we should monitor while prescribing, and it causes angiogenesis, and it also causes the formation of new lymph vessels in the body, and by that it also, very important point, it also causes production of new cancer cells. So these are some important points we have to remember about erythropoietin. And erythropoietin is suggested only in dialysis patients, only in chronic kidney patients, and if required in severe anemia cases we have to prescribe erythropoietin. That too, when erythropoietin is given, suggest folic acid or give supplements like iron sulfate to the patient. And yes, that's it about erythropoietin. And if you learned something from our video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe and comment to our video. Thank you for watching.